I'm Lenora Bresler, leadership and employee engagement speaker, author, trainer, and coach. In today's edition of Instant Insight for Leaders, I want to talk to you about habits. Have you ever had an employee who was in a bad habit at work and you sat them down, you talked to them, and you explained the situation, and they agreed with you? They seemed to understand the problem and agreed that they would change. And then they slipped back into their old bad habits? It's not that they're not trying to be cooperative or that they're unwilling. It's really that they're fighting against their own brain. We need to know a little bit about how the brain forms habits that we might be able to help people break habits and start new ones. Now, we've all heard that it takes 21 days to start a new habit after breaking an old one, but that's actually an urban myth. It comes from some observations that were done in a hospital ward after World War II. But what science does indicate is how habits form, and here's how it works. At some point, you made a conscious decision to engage in certain behaviors. That was repeated over and over, and so it became almost instinctual. So now you don't even think about it anymore. In other words, you're not making a rational choice. You're not making a thoughtful decision anymore. You're running on instinct, kind of like Pavlov's dog. What's sending you into doing those behaviors are cues, things that have happened many, many times, and you have followed up that cue by these habitual behaviors. But at this point, you're no longer making a conscious decision to engage in the behaviors. You're just responding to the cue. So, if there's behaviors in the workplace that you don't like, you need to find out what are the cues. What is it that is prompting this unthought out behavior? And then you have to make people actually stop and think about what behavior they want to engage in when they see or hear those cues. That's why it's so imperative that you identify what those cues are. Now, of course, at one time, there was a thoughtful decision to engage in this behavior, and that was based on the reward or penalty that an employee either thought they were going to get or feared that they were going to get. But again, it doesn't matter now what the reward or penalty is. The behavior is instinctual. So you must go back to the cue, and now you must also articulate possibly new rewards or penalties that will ensue based on the behavior. So, now that you know a little more about habits, maybe you can help your employees and yourself have some better ones. I'm Lenora Bresler. Visit me on the web at jlenorabresler.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and watch my ever-increasing library of videos on my YouTube channel at Lenora Bresler. You go out and make it a great leadership day. And by the way, that's a good habit for you to have every day.